Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. I am here at the Angelica Theater, a very lovely theater. I actually prefer this theater over the usual theater I go to, which is the Regal Cinemas. Good theater, Regal, but I prefer Angelica because it has a more cinema-friendly kind of feel to it. It feels much more like a cinema, where Regal feels like a movie theater. You get the understanding of that. But I usually don't come out here often because it's like a 30-minute drive, so I don't usually make that kind of effort. But I did want to come out here today to check out, as a funny play on words, I showed up for Showing Up, which is directed by Kelly Richard, we can say her last name. Previous films include First Cow, which I liked. I think that it lingers a little bit longer than I would have liked it to, but appreciated it for the aura and the aesthetics. I thought were really, really sharp, or really pleasing. Reunites once again with Michelle Williams, which, just to admit, I have not seen their previous works together, Wendy and Lucy, among other things. Really want to, but I just never got around to before seeing this film. So this is the first of those collaborations that I've seen. It tells a story of a sculptor named Lizzie, played by Michelle Williams, as she prepares for a upcoming show where she presents a lot of her pieces, and it details a lot about her ins and outs of her life, how she is with her neighbors, how her family is, and ultimately portraying this idea of very blatantly, it feels to me, this idea of isolation and the absence of satisfaction, it seems, in one's life. Because Lizzie is a character that is very isolated. If I were to compare it to anybody, it would probably be Lee Chandler from Manchester by the Sea. She portrays funny enough, Michelle Williams also was in that film as well. It has a very isolated and stiff. She's a very stiff type of character. The way she walks around, she hangs quite a bit, and she doesn't have a lot of confidence in her demeanor. And I thought Michelle Williams brought that brilliantly. I thought she, just the mannerism. Sometimes it's a little stiff for my taste. Like there's times where she's just, just slouching. It seems comes off a little bit more exaggerative than proper. But I think that most of the details that she presents within that performance, I think, are very suitable, and it makes for a very, very compelling performance. And it's also, oddly enough, pretty funny. There are points in the film where I was laughing, and it's small bits because it's a film that I would say is mostly fairly serious, but there are suggestions of humor throughout where, my favorite line in the film was, because the whole idea of Lizzie is that she also feels very distant. She's a very stubborn type artist where, she wishes to do things a certain way, and at the same time, though, she really wants that validation. She really wants that acceptance that her neighbor, played by Han Chow, has. She really wants that sort of thing, but she's so deeply isolated and deeply upsetting, and it's a lot to do, and a lot of that is due to her family dynamics, which are very disjointed. We have a father who is kind of oblivious and kind of is just blind. He just doesn't, and wants to ignore everything, where the mother is sort of passive. She kind of cares, and then she at times feels like she doesn't really care. And then the brother who they make the suggestions throughout that he's deeply depressed, possibly suicidal. So she comes from a very sad family, and and her family also clearly has not really supported her. I mean, it seems on the surface that it seems like that they're helping and supporting her, but it's not. They're not really, because of how she feels and how she herself is. So the film does a really, really great job in informing us about this character. I think there's a lot to Lizzie that I really, really found compelling. Um, and a lot of that credit goes to Michelle Williams because of what she brings to the role. Um, I think that it also has a patience to it that I was really entranced by. Like, the issue that I had with First Cow is that it is a film that takes its time, but I feel that it's it's like kind of like too much, like it lingers a little too long for me. With this, it has those same sensibilities, but I feel that I feel like just the approach to it, I feel, is more understanding, and I found myself more comfortable within those ideas and those sensibilities. Um, there's a few gripes that I have with it. There's this running idea of a pigeon that's dispersed throughout the film, and I thought that, evidently, I knew that the film would end with the bird flying off, but when that moment happened, I found myself just kind of like, huh. And my audience was the same way, where everyone was kind of thinking to themselves, okay, well, like, it's kind of a questionable, metaphor, and I'm trying to figure out what that metaphor really meant. I mean, there's ideas of maybe she just kind of just, maybe like accepts certain things or lets go of certain things. Like, it's kind of made unclear as to what that bird is meant to represent, especially because, the relationship, it seems, between Michelle Williams and Han Chow it's not really a friendship. I mean, it's just kind of sort of okay with each other, but not really, because mostly to do with Michelle Williams. What I also really liked is how they portrayed two different kinds of artists, So we have Michelle Williams, who's a very isolated type figure, and she's her arts are much more dour and much more serious. Where with Han Chow's artistic stuff is a lot more expressive and a lot more colorful. And yet the differences between the two is that Michelle Williams, responsible, but not satisfied. Han Chow, not really that responsible, but very satisfied. So it presents very interesting perspectives, on what it means to maintain a passion, and reality versus passion. What's more important, and I just found it to just be very, very compelling. I was really, really entranced by it, really just taken by it. I think really what really kept me in that place was Michelle Williams. It was just a terrific performance, and just the manner of the film was just really comfortable. I just found myself really sitting with it, and it's just the sense of pace and just the attitude of the film. I really, really found myself enjoying it a lot. I was really, really taken by it, and it makes me very, very eager to see what the other work between Kelly and Michelle was. So I might check out Wendy and Lucy maybe pretty soon here. But I thought it was really, really good. I was really taken by it. Like I said, I think that some of its metaphors are not made super clear, and some of that lingeringness, it does, I can't say at points, does make you kind of zone out. It's a little bit, but it's very minor stuff when that happens. Like, very minor when that happens. Because for the most of the time, I was just really invested, really intrigued, and I think that it just builds and really gives us a great perspective of who this person is, and you sympathize. You understand why she is the way she is. You understand why she is so isolated. Again, very similar to Lee Chandler, where initially you're thinking to yourself, well, wow, she's very cold, she's very distant, and eventually the difference between Manchester by the Sea and this, that Manchester by the Sea gives you that information, I would say, fairly quickly. With this, you have to like yeah, it's like just peeling the layers, you know, like you're just okay, well, we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, now I get it, you know. And I just found the journey to that to be very, very, just very, very fascinating and very, very, very investing. So I really enjoyed myself with this. I thought it was a really great piece, and I hope you guys check it out. It's called Showing Up. Hope you guys show up to see it. Um, so that's my thoughts on Showing Up. You guys know your thoughts on Showing Up if you guys showed up for it. I'm gonna stop saying that joke now. I've probably killed it at this point. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.